Hi everyone, you're listening to Meditation Magick Podcast with your host, Raffi. I wanted to take this opportunity to announce that I am pressing pause on this podcast as I am currently working with my friend, Mary, who I'm sure that you at this point probably have heard at least once or twice here on this podcast. And we are going to do a joint podcast together that does a lot more of discussion and encouragement in terms of self-care and some things surrounding that. In order to be able to give my best to that podcast, I decided that at this time, I thought it was perhaps in my best interest to take a break from this one. And while I won't be making meditations for this podcast, I will still be making meditations on the new podcast. So if you are interested in hearing those meditations still, you can still go to that podcast and check it out. The new podcast is called Take the Time Podcast, and it is a podcast that is dedicated to encouraging you to take care of yourself. And what that means is basically we discuss a wide variety of self-care topics that sounded weird, ranging from simple things like how to take care of yourself during the winter blues, or perhaps your quarantine comforts, or we even kind of go deeper and talk about a bit about sobriety and things like that. So part of that will also include these bonus meditations in which I'll be releasing little meditations to do various things. Like my first one will be a grounding meditation. So a really simple, quick meditation to kind of practice grounding yourself. And like I said, a lot of the things that sometimes I do here will be interwoven into that new podcast. So I do encourage you to check it out if that is something that you are interested in. And finally, I just wanted to say thank you for being a listener of this podcast. I truly appreciate it. And I hope that you were able to take something from this podcast and were able to enjoy it as well. So I will be putting links to the new upcoming podcast in the show notes, so that if you are interested, you'll be able to access it. And there's also going to be our Instagram and things like that too that you can follow, again, if you're interested. So I think at this point, I would like to say thank you again for being on this journey with me. And again, this is not the end. It's just a pause so that I can really focus on putting all of my energy into this new project. And I hope that you decide to join us there as well. So stay safe, stay well, and take care.